Welcome to the Cause and Effect channel. Today we delve into a topic that's often swept under the rug, a silent epidemic that's gripping our youth. We're peeling back the layers on a subject that's as important as it is misunderstood: teen anxiety and depression. In this video, we're not just discussing figures and facts, we're talking about real human experiences, real struggles. We're going to explore the unseen battles of millions of teenagers around the world, battles that are fought behind closed doors within the confines of their minds. Stay with us as we shed light on this silent struggle, unravel its causes, delve into its ripple effects, and explore ways to break the chains. It's time to listen, to understand, to act. Because these aren't just statistics, they're stories. Stories of resilience, of courage, of hope. And each one matters. So let's start this journey. Let's open our hearts and minds to the silent struggles of our youth, because understanding is the first step to change. Imagine a teenager, bright and full of promise, held back not by lack of talent, but by an invisible burden. A burden often misunderstood, often dismissed, a silent struggle that's as real as it is relentless. We're talking about anxiety and depression, the unseen battles that many teenagers grapple with daily. In the prime of their lives, these young individuals are not just faced with the usual teenage angst. They're caught in a whirlpool of emotions, a ceaseless conflict within their minds. The joy of adolescence is shadowed by a cloud of fear, worry, and sadness. The highs are fleeting, the lows frighteningly persistent. Imagine waking up every day with a heart that races at the very thought of the day ahead. Picture a mind that's constantly on edge, a soul that feels heavy, an existence that seems more like survival than living. This is the reality for countless teenagers, the reality of living with anxiety and depression. But just how prevalent are these conditions among our young populace? The numbers are more alarming than you might think. According to recent studies, 1 in 5 teenagers experience anxiety or depression at some point during their adolescence. That's 20% of our future generation, wrestling with these debilitating conditions even before they've fully stepped into adulthood. And it's not just about the numbers. Each percentage point represents a life, a story, a struggle. Behind each statistic is a young person yearning for understanding, for help, for relief. These aren't just figures on a page, they are silent cries for help, echoing across classrooms, homes, and playgrounds. Yet, despite the severity of the issue, it remains shrouded in stigma and misunderstanding. Many are suffering in silence, their stories unheard, their pain unseen. But it's high time we shed light on this issue. It's time we listened. It's time we understood. This isn't just one teenager's story. It's an echo of millions around the world. Why is this the reality for so many teenagers today? A question that lingers in the air like a chilling fog, demanding our attention. As we venture into the heart of this issue, we find that the causes of this rising trend of anxiety and depression among our youth are as diverse as they are complex. Societal pressures can be a significant contributor. In today's fast-paced world, teenagers are constantly bombarded with expectations. From achieving perfection in academics to fitting into certain societal norms, these pressures can be overwhelming, creating a perfect storm for anxiety and depression to take root. Social media, too, plays a significant role. The digital age has brought us closer than ever before. Yet paradoxically, it has also made us feel more isolated. For many teenagers, social media has become a double-edged sword. On one side, it offers connection and community. On the other, it often fosters comparison, cyberbullying, and a distorted sense of reality, all of which can fuel feelings of inadequacy and despair. And let's not overlook academic stress. The race for grades, the competition for college placements, the relentless pursuit of excellence, these can all take a heavy toll on a teenager's mental health. It's like a pressure cooker, and without an outlet, it's only a matter of time before the lid blows off. Remember though, it's not usually one single factor that triggers these mental health issues. It's a combination, a cocktail of sorts, that varies from person to person. It's like a puzzle, a complex mosaic where each piece adds to the overall picture. So, as we dig deeper into this issue, let's keep in mind the multifaceted nature of these triggers. Recognizing them is the first step towards understanding and ultimately addressing the rise of anxiety and depression among our teenagers. These triggers are part of a tangled web that ensnares our young people in a cycle of anxiety and depression. A cycle that we, as a society, must strive to break. For the sake of our future, we cannot afford to ignore this silent struggle any longer. The impact of these conditions extends far beyond the individuals who suffer from them. It's like tossing a stone into a serene lake. The initial splash is only the beginning. The ripples spread out, reaching far and wide, affecting everything in their path. The same is true for the mounting anxiety and depression among teenagers. It's not just about the emotional turmoil, it's also about the physical health repercussions. Sleep disturbances, headaches, stomach problems, and even weakened immune systems are common threads woven into the fabric of this issue. The body and mind are interconnected, and when one suffers, the other is not far behind. Academic performance is another casualty. The classroom is transformed from a place of learning to a battleground of stress and anxiety. Concentration wavers, grades drop, and dreams of future success start to blur. The pressure to keep up, to fit in, to excel becomes a weight that's too heavy to bear. But the ripple doesn't stop there. It reaches into the realm of relationships where it can cause a deep chasm. Friends start to seem distant, families feel like strangers, and loneliness sets in. The world becomes a solitary place, and the joy of companionship is replaced by the cold grip of isolation. The societal cost of untreated mental health issues among teenagers is a burden that we all bear. It's reflected in the healthcare system, in the economy, in the fabric of our communities. It's a cost measured not only in dollars and cents, but more importantly in lost potential, in shattered dreams, and in the fading light of hope. But remember, each ripple is also an opportunity to reach out, to understand, to help. An opportunity to turn the tide and set a new course. An opportunity to transform the narrative from one of despair to one of hope. The ripple effect of this crisis touches every corner of our society. But it's within our power to change the direction of the ripples. It's within our power to turn the tide. It's within our power to make a difference. But there is hope. There are ways to break these chains. Just as a gardener nurtures a seedling into a blooming flower, therapeutic interventions can help a troubled mind grow towards resilience and strength. Therapy, in its many forms, is a lifeline, a glare of light guiding us out of the chaos of our inner turmoil. Cognitive behavioral therapy, for instance, can help reframe negative thought patterns that often fuel anxiety and depression. Yet, just as a ship needs a compass to navigate treacherous waters, early detection is crucial. It's akin to catching a spark before it blazes into a wildfire. Noticing changes in behavior, mood, or social interactions can be the first step towards intervention. It's the small pebbles that start the avalanche, so recognizing these pebbles can be a game changer. But the battle isn't fought alone. Societal support plays a crucial role, like a sturdy scaffolding around a building under repair. Schools, families, friends, they form a network of care, providing the emotional sustenance necessary for recovery. It's important to remember that the strength of this network can make all the difference in the world. Let's not forget the stories of triumph, the victories over the invisible foe. There are countless teenagers who, despite their struggles, have managed to break free from the chains of anxiety and depression. They stand as testament to the power of resilience and the human spirit. Their journeys, though fraught with challenges, end in triumph, like a phoenix rising from the ashes. These stories are not just tales of survival, but of transformation. They serve as reminders that no matter how dark the night, the dawn is just over the horizon. They underscore the fact that with persistence, patience, and the right support and therapy, it is possible to navigate the stormy seas of mental health issues. With the right help and support, these burdens can be lifted. It's a journey, a process of healing and growth. But remember, every journey begins with a single step. So let's take that step today. Let's break the chains. Let's reclaim the joy and vibrancy of life. But there is a bigger question we need to ask ourselves. As we navigate the winding path of life, we cannot ignore the rising tide of anxiety and depression among teenagers. This is not a distant issue, confined to the corners of scientific journals or the hushed whispers of therapy rooms. It is a reality that is knocking on our doors, seeping into our homes, our schools, our communities. It is a reality that demands our attention, our understanding, and most importantly, our action. Have we stopped to question the environment we are creating for our young ones? Have we evaluated the pressures we are mounting on their shoulders? Are we allowing them the freedom to express their emotions, their fears, their anxieties without judgment? The society we live in today is rapidly evolving, and with that evolution comes an increasing complexity of experiences. Our teenagers are navigating a world that is vastly different from the one we once knew. They are grappling with challenges that did not exist a generation ago. The constant bombardment of information, the relentless pursuit of perfection, the pressure to conform, these are realities our young ones are dealing with every single day. We need to shift our perspective on mental health. It's time to strip away the stigma that shrouds anxiety and depression. It's time to foster a culture of understanding and empathy where mental health is prioritized alongside physical health. It's time to equip our young ones with the tools they need to manage their mental health and to ensure they know that it's okay to ask for help. Mental health is not a solitary battle, it is a collective responsibility. We all play a role in shaping the environment our young ones grow in, the attitudes they form, the coping mechanisms they develop. It is up to us to create a safe, supportive space for them to navigate their emotions, to understand their mental health, and to seek help when they need it. As we reflect on the rising trend of anxiety and depression among teenagers, we must ask ourselves, are we doing enough to support our young people in their most vulnerable moments? Now that we've explored the unseen struggles of teen anxiety and depression, it's time to act. We have painted a picture of the silent battles our teenagers are fighting every day. But this is not where our responsibility ends. In fact, this is where it begins. We must reach out to the teenagers in our lives, lend a listening ear, offer a comforting word. Silence is not an option when their mental health is at stake. There are numerous mental health resources and organizations that offer support, guidance, and treatment for anxiety and depression. Encourage them to seek help, and if necessary, guide them towards these resources. But our responsibility doesn't stop there. We must spread awareness about teen anxiety and depression. Thank you for your time. Subscribe and share this video with your friends, family, colleagues. Start conversations about mental health in your homes, your workplaces, your communities. Break the barriers of silence that surround mental health. Together we can make a difference. Together we can ensure that our teenagers don't just survive, but thrive in the face of mental health challenges. Let's start today.